Hello, Cryptoland. I'm Justin. It's July, and this is the ARK.io monthly update for June 2020. Whoa, we had some big news coming out of ARK.io during June, and we're going into that in this monthly update. Now, we release this update every month in written form on blog.ark.io. That's also where all of the helpful links and show notes are going to be located for the podcast you're listening to right now, or the video that you're watching right now. If you're watching on youtube.ark.io, welcome, subscribe, hit the bell. If you're listening on the podcast, you can subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts. But we have a lot to cover this time, so I'm just going to get the music out of here right away, and let's jump right into the monthly update for June. Now, I'm going to start off with the remarks for June. This is just like a little quote that I put together for each update that kind of summarizes the big cool things that happened during the month, and it's easy to see kind of where we're at. My remarks for June are the following. We have been moving into summer as economies around the world are starting to open back up amid the global health crisis. Our best wishes go out to the healthcare professionals who are monitoring the situation and other essential workers who are keeping pace with this new normal. Fortunately, we've been able to work as hard as ever, collaborating online since the ARK.io business entity formed in 2017. June brought with it new listings at BC Bitcoin Brokerage and on the Graviex exchange. The ARK Grants program produced a new proof of concept called ARK Scooters, showcasing ARK technology in action. Of course, the big news of the month was the soft launch of Protocol, ARK.io's subsidiary business entity focusing on enterprise services. On blog.ark.io, we released an inside look at MarketSquare, the new homepage for the decentralized web. June made big strides for ARK's vision and master plan. Next, let's move into the roadmap progress update. Now, this section was recently added. I believe the first roadmap progress update was in last month's update. And we're going to continue having this section because it really touches on the specific roadmap items that you'll find on roadmap.ark.io. So let's go into that. The ARK roadmap features various projects and sub-projects that ARK.io is working on. It is a percentage-based project dashboard for the developmental pipeline of ARK technology. Let's look into a special update on the progress of our roadmap. So first up here in this section, we've got the Protocol soft launch. I would definitely say that this is like the biggest news of June. And the Protocol team had been hard at work in the background for many months, setting all this up and getting all the ducks in a row. And now it's finally been unveiled in a soft launch during June. This is great stuff. So let's check out this excerpt here. So during June, the ARK.io business entity launched a subsidiary that aims to handle enterprise blockchain design and consulting services. Under the name Protocol with a K, this new business entity will service enterprise clientele who wish to integrate blockchain technology into their processes and services. Some ARK team members transferred into the new entity to manage and run it, and some new faces joined the ranks as well. The needs of enterprises are diverse and warrant special attention, so it makes sense to create a special business entity operating under the supportive umbrella of ARK.io. With the soft launch now behind us, Protocol will continue its preparations for hard launch later this year. So just real quick, there is a blog article that goes into much more detail than this, linked in monthly update, but soft launch is defined like this. There was an announcement blog that was put out, there was a website that was set up, there was social channels set up, and it's kind of like we're opening our doors for clients who are interested for inbound leads. So that would define a soft launch. The hard launch is when like the full strategies kind of get executed and I guess more outbound lead generation starts to occur. So there are more details that are going to come out of Protocol's channels on this. And of course, the ARK channels will keep you apprised of what's going on with Protocol. But I'll give you a sneak peek on the podcast episodes, part 1 and part 2, linked in monthly update, where I interview over half dozen team members of Protocol. If you're already listening to the podcast, you know full well what's up with those 2 episodes, but you can check those out linked in monthly update. So next up, let's move into the MarketSquare first look. The MarketSquare first look is definitely a point of excitement because it's a major roadmap item and it's showing that the main development is completed with screenshots and details about MarketSquare, as well as external testing being completed. But let's dive into the exact excerpt in the monthly update for MarketSquare here. So on roadmap.ark.io, there's been an item called ARK Marketplace. That's what it was called on the website up until recently. Now, this refers to a platform designed to be a showcase and meeting place for delegates blockchains, plugins, and businesses in the economy 2.0, as it were. Now, during June, we unveiled the official name of this marketplace, which we're calling Market Square, and released details and screenshots of the completed platform for the first time in a blog announcement article. Now, at this time, Market Square is a functional platform that has been tested by alpha testers outside of the ARK team, and the preparations for releasing a public beta are underway. It was a lot of hard work to bring Market Square from a twinkle in our eye all the way to a production-ready platform that interacts with the ARK development network. With the main design and development completed, we are now implementing the final features suggested by initial testers and squashing the final minor bugs to make Market Square as robust as possible. In parallel, we are setting up a social media presence for Market Square and preparing content for when the public beta goes live during Q4 of this year. Now, there's an announcement blog article linked in Monthly Update where you can see what Market Square actually looks like as well. And then we also released a logo teaser video on our YouTube channel, just like a little 10-second Market Square It's a Thing type video that is also linked in Monthly Update. So moving on with the roadmap update, we have the ARK deployer upgrades, right? Now, we have been behind the scenes improving the process of creating a customized blockchain ever since the alpha version of the ARK deployer went public last year. Now, in this new version, users will be presented with a far improved web-based graphical user interface. One-click deployment is also possible with this upcoming version. The new ARK deployer will support multiple hosting providers, as well as provide users with the flexibility to easily deploy servers and entire networks with a few simple steps. Testing is ongoing, but we are pleased to report the main portion of development has been completed during June. The one-click user experience is functional. The dashboard GUI is connected. Adding new nodes after the fact works. Uploading pre-configured specs is functional, and Hetzner auto deployment support is implemented. I've also personally tested all of this stuff, and it is definitely working. So at this stage, the final tendrils are being connected to the ARK deployer web application, and discussions are taking place on how to best present this new product to the world. Stay tuned on blog.ark.io for more details on that. And then rounding out our roadmap update here, we've got additional upgrades and improvements. Without leaking too many intimate details, you should know that the ARK team is also improving and enhancing other projects, products, and services in order to make the user experiences gel together. The goal is to create a more cohesive experience now that the ARK deployer and Market Square will act as the bones for building a thriving ecosystem. Keep in mind those products present an elevated user experience and vision for ARK, and thus improvements are underway to bring the other projects and products up to speed with them. More details on this will be released in due time, but we can definitely say we are talking about much more than just a fresh coat of paint. Stay tuned on all channels. So let's move into the top tweet now for June. Now, it's no surprise here, with Protocol being the big news of the month. The top tweet is the announcement of Protocol soft launch. So big ups to Protocol and the Protocol team on getting the top tweet for June. So let's move into the exchange news for June. Now, before we get into this, you should know that the ARK crypto asset is available on over 30 exchanges, and more exchanges are being added all the time. And for a full list, you can visit ark.io/exchanges. Now, as well, you should also know that content created by ARK.io is not investment advice nor a solicitation of investment, and you should consult your financial advisor. So during June, we had ARK listed on the BC Bitcoin brokerage. Now, this month, we are very excited to announce that ARK has been added to BC Bitcoin, which is a professional cryptocurrency brokerage based in the UK. Their traders have over 30 years combined experience in trading and use this experience to best serve customers. BC Bitcoin offers GBP and Euro trading pairs, as well as immediate fiat bank transfers. You can learn more about BC Bitcoin at their website, linked in Monthly Update. So also, during June, ARK was listed on the GraviX exchange. This exchange offers Bitcoin, Tether, and Ethereum trading pairs. And according to their website, their main goal is to make trading affordable, safe, and reliable. GraviX is based in Russia, and you can learn more about them at their website, which is linked in Monthly Update. So next, let's move into the team news here. We've got a couple cool things going on, especially since Protocol launched and some ARK team members are involved with Protocol, and you should kind of know what's going on with the details of that. You'll find that here in this section. ARK was founded by an elite team of blockchain experts and enthusiasts from around the globe. Now, with more than 30 core team members from 12 different countries, we take decentralization to a whole new level. So during June, the protocol team was established. Now, technically, right, the protocol team had been established for a long time, but during June, we announced, and so here it is in June's update. Now, in light of the recent announcement of Protocol, a new subsidiary of ARK.io handling enterprise services, there has been some restructuring within the ARK.io team as some members make the transition to Protocol. All right. Collaboration between the ARK.io team and the new Protocol team remains strong. And Protocol being a separate subsidiary entity of ARK.io means that the complex needs of enterprises can be met by a dedicated team. Of the current team at ARK.io, Lars Rensing has taken up the role of CEO at Protocol, with Chris as CTO. Katie Phillips is the Chief Communications Officer, and Kai has become the Chief Marketing Officer. Now, some fresh faces round out the Protocol team, including Chief Commercial Officer Thijs and Head of Advisory Board Riek. A previous intern of ARK.io, Jean, joined the Protocol team as well, along with additional hires. A very solid team, well suited to handle enterprise needs, if you ask me. So also, during June, we had Brian Faust transition to ARK.io CTO. Congrats. Brian has been immersed in the inner workings of ARK Technology for a long time. He's been lead developer for the ARK Core, managing GitHub activity, as well as overseeing collaboration between developers within the ARK.io team. He is also author of the 6-part series highlighting ARK Core v3, the new iteration in development whose code is now publicly available. Now, with Chris focusing more on the needs of enterprise as Protocol CTO, Brian has transitioned into the role of CTO for ARK, right? Brian will continue managing the development of the ARK Core, as well as other projects and products as we upgrade ARK technology throughout 2020 and beyond. Congrats again, Brian. And if you like, you can read Brian's 6-part core series linked in monthly update. So let's move right into the ARK Technology Usage section. The ARK Core framework is an open source toolbox that developers can utilize to power various use cases using blockchain technology. The well-documented technology stack, coupled with easy blockchain creation tools such as the ARK Deployer, make it simple for developers to dive into this emerging technology. So first up during June, we have ARK Grants program funds ARK Scooters proof of concept. Now, ARK Grants is a recently launched program backed by 1 million ARK designed to empower developers to showcase ARK technology in action. This recent month, a proof of concept called ARK Scooters received completion approval from the decision board. ARK Scooters is a rental solution utilizing a custom blockchain powered by ARK Core. Now, you can view more details in the ARK Grants section of this update article, which we'll talk about later on in this update here, or you can just skip ahead to the announcement blog article for ARK Scooters. You can click it in linked in monthly update. But we have some projects building with ARK Core. I want to tell you what they've been up to recently. First up, we have NOS. Now, during June, NOS has been very busy using ARK technology to integrate it into other services, bringing more power and versatility to its framework. Users can now utilize WNOS, an ERC20 version of NOS on the Ethereum Ropsten testnet. The NOS wallet now also has built-in swap capabilities courtesy of the Uniswap protocol. As well, the NOS wallet now supports login via encrypted password as well as its standard mnemonic login. In a big move, the NOS wallet codebase has finished its migration to Typescript, making it more secure and resistant to errors. Check the NOS blog article for screenshots, GIFs, and additional details. You can view the NOS blog article on June improvements linked in monthly update. So also, Unique Name launches a community bounty program. On June 10th, Unique Name announced a new bounty program for both developers and non-developers. Contributors can earn UNS by participating in tasks relating to Unique Name Connect, the My Unique Name app, and UNS.network. Unique Name is searching for developers, testers, writers, and translators. Earn UNS and contribute to the growing ecosystem of chains powered by ARK Technology. Learn more details about the UNS Community Bounty Program, linked in monthly update. Cool. So yes, ARK Technology is out there. ARK Technology is getting used. We're also getting valuable feedback from projects building with ARK Core. It's almost like an ecosystem, you could say. Just a word I pulled out of thin air there. So let's move into the ARK Wallet updates. Now, the ARK desktop and mobile wallets are highly secure. The desktop wallet even integrates with Ledger Nano hardware wallet devices. They are extremely easy to use and launch instantly with no need to sync. Plus, with the ARK public network having 8-second block times, you can even see your transactions occur in near real time. Whether you're checking your balance, sending and receiving funds, or voting for your preferred delegate, ARK wallets make it as easy as possible. So in desktop wallet land, we have a new release for June. It's version 2.9.2, with user experience improvements. This release focused on the user experience when executing certain tasks within the wallet. With the completely new version of the wallet well into the development phase, we haven't forgotten about improving and fixing the current one. Along with this release, we are pleased to announce that Ledger hardware wallet devices now support Schnorr signatures. Send transactions are now signed using our Schnorr model that was introduced as of ARK Core 2.6. To take advantage of this, update your Ledger to the latest firmware and 2.1.0 of the Ledger firmware ARK app, which is also a June release. Keep in mind, Ledger hardware wallet devices don't support multi-payments yet. So what's new at a glance in this desktop wallet? Well, we've got multi-payment and transfer UI merge. So executing a simple transfer, which is you just send some ARK to one person, or executing a multi-payment where you send to multiple destinations in one transaction, those two processes have been combined into the same screen. You declare your recipient and amount, you click add, and if you wish to turn it into a multi-payment, just repeat that process to add additional recipients and amounts. Super convenient. So also, there's a no connectivity alert. If there is no internet connectivity, the application alerts you of a potential connectivity issue and to check your connection. Also, multi-signature icon and tooltip. The application now displays an icon and tooltip indicating which addresses in your list are multi-signature, and new plugin display options. When browsing the displayed plugins in the plugin manager, you now get additional filter options beyond simply all or installed. We added official to show you which plugins were published by ARK.io, as well as funded to show you which plugins were made possible by the ARK Grants program. Now, this is a shortened list of improvements for ARK Desktop Wallet 2.9.2. For a full list of improvements, check the article linked in monthly update, and you can download the latest version of the wallet at wallet.ark.io. So also, mobile wallet got a very minor update during June. Very minor. I don't think we even tweeted about it, all right? But it's out there, and it's a higher version than it once was. I'm talking about version 1.8.1, which fixed the empty state height on the profile sign-in page. And you can download that at android.ark.io or ios.ark.io, or just locate them on your app store of choice. And if you're still curious about the upgrades of 1.8.0, which was more updates than just one thing, you can check the article linked in monthly update. So let's move right into the ARK Core news for the June monthly update. Now, ARK Core is a lightweight but very powerful code base that functions as the base component of the entire ARK ecosystem. Developed in Typescript, the ARK Core's modular architecture empowers developers to modify, configure, or extend all aspects of the code base with ease. So we have ARK Core version releases during June. These are taken from the development report, and the following minor core releases were made public during this previous month. We have 2.6.39 on Wednesday, June 17th, and 2.6.42 on Monday, June 29th. Now you can learn more about the ARK Core from the announcement blog article, and during the 6-part Let's Explore Core series I mentioned earlier, Brian is the author. You can start with part 1, infrastructure, linked in monthly update. So let's just cruise right into the development report section of this monthly update. Now, the development report, it covers public releases among ARK open source projects, all pull requests, open, close, and merged, all issues opened and closed in every ARK ecosystem public repo, the number of contributors during that month, the number of new stargazers, and total lines of GitHub code added or deleted. The report has intricate links to GitHub repos, events, and releases. We'd like to extend a huge thanks to all of our contributors. You can check out the development report linked in monthly update. All right, so let's move right into the network statistics report. This is included in the monthly update blog article, and you can see it scrolling on YouTube. There's lots of different variables that are included in this report, things that talk about the total network transactions, the total blocks, the fees, and the voting situation. You can check out all of the cool variables in the monthly update. Easy stuff. So let's move right down into the France activities section. Now, ARK.io is incorporated as an SCIC in France as ARK Ecosystem SCIC, giving us a leg up when interfacing with the legacy financial system. This SCIC is the first of its kind for crypto in France. The business entity is also a founding member of ADAN, an association of blockchain technology companies designed to further the mission of the technology in France and the European Union. So during June, we have ARK.io President Francois Xavier Thorens on Be Smart TV interview. On June 23rd, an interview took place on Be Smart TV, a European news channel for economic and financial news. ARK.io President Francois Xavier Thorens appeared on the Delphine Sabatier's Smart Tech program, which is a magazine about innovation from medical research to education, cybersecurity, mobility, and finance. Thorens spoke on the topics of digital innovations concerning the means of payments and transactions, as well as identifying what is changing thanks to cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. You can see photos in monthly update. So moving into the ARK Timeline section, this is pretty much where I like to put things that occurred during the recent month that don't necessarily fit into the other sections. Now, why is it called ARK Timeline? Well, arktimeline.com is a community resource built and maintained by the ARK Community Committee, and the entire history of all ARK achievements and accomplishments are available there, and they are both sortable and filterable. Now, here's a quick rundown for this past month, excluding events mentioned elsewhere in this update article. On June 22nd, ARK.io published a general article titled, "What Happens to Your Crypto When You Die?" The article addresses issues and answers questions about the process of passing cryptocurrencies on to loved ones and other beneficiaries. It addresses the inability for exchanges to properly address this, and touches on concepts such as dead man switches and inheritance solutions. You can check out the full article linked in monthly update. And then on June 29th, ARK.io published a general article titled How Blockchain Can Resolve Legal Disputes. In part one of the two-part series, the concept of resolving legal disputes concerning copyright infringement using blockchain technology is explored. In the past, courts and content owners had to rely on notaries and third-party organizations in order to verify ownership of content. However, in order to combat the growing number of cases and the rights of content owners, courts began to look towards blockchain technology as a way of preserving evidence. Check out the full article linked in monthly update. It's a great one. So next up, let's go right into the video section of this monthly update. ARK has a growing YouTube channel that features technical discussions and updates, motion graphic explainers, community videos, tutorials, crypto adventure vlogs, and more. Watch our videos at youtube.ark.io and subscribe to our channel in one click using the special link, which is linked in monthly update. So during June, we released the May monthly update. And if you missed that, if this is the first time that you're experiencing the monthly update, we've been doing this each month, and you can watch the video of the May one on YouTube. And then as well, as I mentioned earlier in this update, the Market Square intro logo video came out. So when we released the first look blog article for Market Square, we accompanied it with an intro logo video. Take a look. It's in monthly update. And of course, it's on our YouTube channel. So next up, we're moving into the podcast section. If you're listening to this update on the podcast, you already know what I'm talking about. But if not, we have a podcast. The ARK Crypto Podcast releases weekly episodes all about ARK, featuring interviews, monologues, tutorials, reports, presentations, and more. The show aims for a 30-minute runtime and releases new episodes every Friday. Subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, and CastBox, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Details, external links, and show notes are available at podcast.ark.io. Let's quickly get into what was released during June on the podcast. Episode 78, that was May's update. Episode 79 was a really cool episode that actually I was told by the ARK team that this episode got a lot of listens, more listens than most other episodes. And it's titled A Breakdown of the Ways to Share ARK. I actually had a lot of fun putting that episode together. You can check it out. Episode 80 and 81 is a two-part interview with the team at Protocol. We had over a half dozen Protocol team members on the podcast, and I was firing questions at them. We were taking community questions that were submitted from the ARK community and beyond. And it was so many guests. There were so many questions that we had to break it into a two-parter. But it's a great way to get acquainted with Protocol, the team at Protocol, and what Protocol is trying to do and accomplish. So you can check those out on podcast.ark.io. Nice. So let's move right into the community spotlight. Essentially, this is where we like to highlight some activities that are going on outside of ARK.io within the ARK ecosystem, as it were. Now, some members mentioned in the community service spotlight are ARK delegates who secure the ARK public network and provide community services. Their inclusion here is in no way an endorsement from ARK.io to vote for any specific delegates. You should always do your own research and consider all the options when voting for a delegate. You can do that at arkdelegates.live. Now, ARK.io does not run the ARK Public Network. Okay. So here's the community service spotlight for this month. Delegate Fun continued to run ARK games online with daily ARK prizes. Delegate Biz Classic and Dell ran ARK Faucets, their linked and monthly update. Delegate Alessio located and reported security vulnerabilities. Delegates Goose and ARK Moon continued their service ARK CSV Generator and Income Estimator to aid in trading and income reporting, not tax advice. Delegate Jarnik ran a general bounty service. You can get involved, linked to monthly update. Delegate Cryptology continued operating the ARK Tipper tip bot. I still use it regularly. I send ARK to people on the ARK Community Committee with it. It works. Delegate Yakety Yak released German ARK podcasts. Delegate Rising Sun continued to run a treasure loot program for voters. Update is linked in monthly update for June. And Delegate Deadlock continued maintaining arkstats.live. It's a cool way to get your finger on the pulse of the health of the network. And also, Crypto MC continued to run Arkifier Delegate Email Alert Service. And just interjecting here, my eyes missed this during the podcast outline for some reason, but community member Gong Grabber grabbed a cameo featuring Chuck Norris encouraging the ARK team. Thank you so much, Gong Grabber, for the video and the thought behind it. We really appreciate it. So also, Delegate Cam's Yellow Jacket released a new video as part of their delegate service. This video covers multi-signature transactions with ARK. You can actually check it out, linked in monthly update, and it's published on their specific YouTube channel. Nice work, and thanks for making a video. I love videos, as you know. I'm all over the YouTube channel for ARK. Now, the Community Service Spotlight pulls entries from reddit.ark.io. And to get something featured here, you simply make a post on the ARK subreddit and then also subscribe there for more community content and discussions because it's just a cool place to go to. And speaking of the ARK subreddit, let's go over some notable Reddit posts in this section. Now, the subreddit, it's a great place to seek ARK knowledge, and you can always find new and engaging content there. If you're new to ARK, check out my Welcome to ARK Reddit post with simple instructions to follow. So some notable posts this month, just like real quick, we had a discussion about companies using ARK technology. That was actually a really big discussion. A post relating to the future of ARK. That was a really big post. A question about introducing more privacy to ARK. Also a technical help question about Ledger not showing up in the desktop wallet. A discussion surrounding monetization for enterprise. A question about an issue where transfer transactions could not be created. Summons for any ARKies out there to make themselves known. That's actually a really fun post. You should go check it out. It's just like, hey, who's out there? And then a bunch of people that I'm well familiar with from a long time ago, they're still following ARK, and they said, yeah, we're here, we're doing it. So thank you very much for your support. And lastly, there is a tech help question about sending a transaction also. Those are the ones that we want to highlight for this month. You can browse more content and contribute your own voice to the ARK subreddit at reddit.ark.io. You may even receive an ARK tip from a community member using Delegate Cryptology's intuitive ARK Tipper Reddit tip bot. Not bad. So let's transition right into the AMA section. We're keeping it smooth. We're keeping it flowing. Ask Me Anythings are periodically conducted where ARK team members answer questions by community members and developers, as well as third-party organizations taking questions from the community as well. Now, during June, there was a type of AMA, although not in the traditional sense. Community questions were submitted to the ARK Crypto podcast to be asked to the team of Protocol shortly after its soft launch. I mentioned this earlier. Half dozen team members, they were guests, answer community questions. It's a 2-part podcast. I strongly recommend you listen to it if you have not checked that out yet. Now, AMAs generally, like in a usual sense, they take place on the ARK Slack, which is like the giant real-time chat system with multiple rooms, and people discuss ARK all day, various categories. You can follow ARK on Twitter for invitations to join future AMAs, and then just join the Slack at slack.ark.io, and you can get into all the channels and see what we're all talking about. I'm there very regularly, and you can talk to me at Justin, double dice, brackets, ARK team. So, awesome. Let's move right into the bounty and security program section. If you didn't know this, ARK runs monthly bounty programs for coders who contribute to our codebase on the ARK Ecosystem GitHub. Now, independent programmers can work side by side with our international team to make the ARK toolkit even more powerful and stable. So for this recent month, we'd like to give a shout out to Dean Press of NOS, who earned ARK while interacting with our open source code on GitHub. Nice work. Also, we'd like to highlight Delegate Alessio, who earned ARK bounties by participating in the development program, and also reported 5 security vulnerabilities that were patched and earned separate bounties for those. So thanks very much, and keep doing the great work, Dean Press and Alessio. We're always looking for more developers to join our program. There's plenty of ARK. There's plenty of ARK to be given to developers who want to contribute to our open source code base. I mean, all you have to do is go to bounty.ark.io and read about how it works. Go to GitHub, start contributing, pull requests, commits, all that stuff. Earn ARK. It's a great time. Let's move right into the ARK Grants section. Speaking of earning ARK, right? We recently launched a program called ARK Grants, backed by 1 million ARK. We have a wide range of opportunities for developers to get involved in the community and get paid to contribute to ARK. The ARK Grants program is an expansion and refinement of our current offerings, providing a war chest of funds to show our dedication to our community and to the ARK ecosystem. Now, technologies and frameworks, applicable project types, and the proposal submission process can be found in the ARK Grants launch article, which is linked in monthly update. So for June, let's talk about June. I mentioned earlier, a little teaser, right? ARK Scooters proof of concept was released. It's funded by ARK Grants. Now on June 12th, we published that announcement article, and ARK Scooters is a rental solution using Internet of Things, and it's powered by ARK Core. Now this proof of concept uses a combination of IoT, the ARK Generic Transaction Interface, also known as the GTI, and a mobile application as the user interface. It runs on a blockchain powered by ARK called Radians to manage registration, locking, unlocking, location, and management of scooter rentals. Concepts like ARK Scooters are exciting, but also important because they illustrate practical applications of blockchain technology in ways that are easy to visualize and understand. So you can learn more details about ARK Scooters and the people involved in the project by visiting the blog article linked in monthly update. So next up, let's move into the ARK Community Committee section. The ACC is a group of people placed all around the world that collaborate online on non-coding related projects. I actually founded this committee. I launched it. The members are always shifting and changing, but also there have been some very long-time members that have been doing the great work. Some of the projects include ARKtimeline.com. You heard about that earlier. That is an ACC project. Many people collaborated on it, and it's a great little thing. Also, ARKthoughts.com, which assembled community opinions on 30 ARK concepts, and as well, Crypto Trivia Night questions, where everybody on the ACC came together to collect and create trivia questions all about crypto for Crypto Trivia Night, which is a separate YouTube channel that's kind of like a fun little thing. Now, during the recent months, I have taken the results of the current project, which is codenamed Project Vidare, and I'm taking actions accordingly. That's really all I care to say right now. But the discussions are public. Like, it's not like privileged information or whatever, but you will know more about what Project Vidare is later on. Okay, I promise. Also, very soon, the third phase of the project involving members of the ACC is starting soon, Project Vidare 3, and there's no coding involved. You can get involved with the project. You can earn ARK. It's just fun and cool. I just wanted to start something that was fun and cool that people who liked ARK could, be involved with, even if they don't know how to code. And I think it's been going really well. So you can actually join the ACC by locating me on Discord at Justin_double_dice on discord.ark.io. Now, our penultimate section here, the ARK Community Fund section. The ARK Community Fund, another way to get ARK. Like, there's just so many ways to get ARK. And I reiterate these every month because I think it's really important that people know that it's not just a cryptocurrency, participating in cryptocurrency and the economy and, this budding industry, right? It's not just about watching videos, even though I really appreciate you watching videos. It's not just about reading blog articles, even though I really appreciate you reading blog articles. It's about also doing and participating. But not everybody realizes that they have something to give. So the ARK Community Fund is just another thing in the list of ways to earn ARK. And the ACF is like the community version of ARK Grants. It's not managed by ARK.io. If you have an idea for an ARK project, large or small, and you are looking for funding, consider submitting a proposal to the ARK Community Fund for review. The ARK Community Fund started as a community initiative, and the elected board reviews ideas and projects that enhance ARK. Their website is arkcommunity.fund. Now, the ACF has been running some giveaways from time to time on the ARK Community Fund channel of the ARK Slack at slack.ark.io. So you can join that and check out the chatter in the channel. So next up, let's go into what's next, right? We talked about everything that happened during June. We talked about roadmap items. We talked about updates, like, for example, the ARK Desktop Wallet update. What's coming up in the future? Well, the team at Protocol is gearing up. With the soft launch now behind them, Protocol will continue its preparations for hard launch later this year. Also, Market Square's main design and development is completed, and a first look featuring screenshots and details went out during June. We are now implementing the final features suggested by initial testers and squashing the last minor bugs to make Market Square as robust as possible. In parallel, we are setting up a social media presence for Market Square and preparing content for when the public beta goes live during Q4 of this year. Now, for the all-new ARK deployer, the final tendrils are being connected to the web application, and discussions are taking place on how to best present this new product to the world. The ARK team is also improving and enhancing other projects, and services in order to make the user experiences gel together, okay? At the center of all this, like this master user experience, is going to be the ARK deployer and Market Square, because that's really where you're joining and participating in the ARK ecosystem. Like, you're creating a blockchain using the ARK deployer, you are collaborating with other people with this new blockchain that you've created. You can start that collaboration process and connect with other people on Market Square. So it's kind of like this yin-yang situation. But there's other things that will contribute to your experience in the ARK ecosystem. And those user experiences need to all gel together, as mentioned earlier. So stay tuned on all ARK channels for more updates. They will be coming. All right, they will be coming, and you will be informed. Communication is key here at ARK. So speaking of communication being key here at ARK, look at me doing all these segues. Like, I'm not even doing this on purpose. These segues are just so natural. I just love it. There's a feedback survey, okay, right under this. There's a short 3-minute feedback survey so we can learn more about your opinions on how we're doing. We review and track this feedback, and we use it to further improve our efforts. You can click the link, which is LinkedIn Monthly Update, and spend 3 minutes, and it goes directly to me. And we take all of your feedback and we look at it, we store it, we monitor it, we discuss it. We'd love to hear your feedback. So we made it to the end of the monthly update for June. Thanks so much for sticking with me all this time. Now, if you're super psyched to get involved within the ARK ecosystem in your own way, here's a quick list of what your first steps might be to get involved with ARK. You can join our community on Slack or Reddit. That's pretty easy. You can launch an ARK community service. You can contribute code and earn ARK. You can apply for an ARK grant to fund your idea. You can learn more about the technology with the ARK Documentation Hub. You can launch an ARK node and campaign for forging status as an ARK delegate. Pretty cool. And of course, you can create a blockchain in 3 simple steps using the ARK deployer. Now, all the links to get involved with all these activities are linked in Monthly Update. Okay, these are the facts. So we're looking forward to July. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for listening to this monthly update. You can check out future updates on the blog at blog.ark.io, on the podcast at podcast.ark.io, and on the YouTube channel at youtube.ark.io. We'll see you next time.
The purpose of this podcast is to educate and inform the listeners. The host is not a financial advisor, and this podcast is not financial advice. Listeners are encouraged to conduct their own research prior to making any investments. Guests who speak in this podcast express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions, and do not represent the beliefs or ideas of ARK.io or the ARK Crypto Podcast. A guest appearance on this podcast assumes no partnership or pending partnership with ARK.io or any associated entity. A guest appearance is by no means an endorsement or solicitation by the ARK Crypto Podcast to purchase a specific cryptocurrency at a specific time or at all. The ARK Crypto Podcast will never solicit any investment from the listener, nor will it ever contact the listener to solicit an investment. Any paid advertisements on the ARK Crypto Podcast will be clearly disclosed as such. This podcast is available for private, non-commercial use only. Advertising which is incorporated into, placed in association with, or targeted towards the content of this podcast is forbidden. You may not edit, modify, or redistribute this podcast. The ARK Crypto Podcast assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with this podcast or for your use of this podcast in connection with your website, computer, or playing device.